Being used by God is not for the weak or the faint of heart. If you're biased to the messages God will have you deliver, then you're not truly ready to be used by God. If you're not prepared to do everything He's calling you to do, if you're not willing to sacrifice everything He's calling you to sacrifice, you can't negotiate what you're willing and not willing to do. If God asks you to sacrifice something or someone you love right now, could you do it at the drop of a dime? Because uplifting people in their time of need is not the only way God will use you. We be ready to deliver the good news, but are you mentally ready to deliver the bad? Can you tell somebody life is about to be taken just as quick as you can tell somebody life is about to be given, even if it's somebody you love and care about? When Samuel heard God calling his name in the middle of the night, it was Eli who told him how to answer that call, but it was a difficult message he had to deliver to Eli. Imagine the person who taught you how to hear the voice of the Lord. It'd be a direct message for them. A message also had to be delivered to Hezekiah, a message God sent saying he was going to die. Can you be used and be obedient in all areas? A scribe came to Jesus and said, "What do one have to do to inherit this kingdom?" And after Jesus gave him a rundown, the man said, "I've done all these things from my youth up." Paraphrasing, Jesus like, "Okay, you got one more thing to do to be considered worthy. Sell everything you have and follow me." Man walked off grieved in his spirit because his heart wasn't aligned to even comply with those terms. Can you really be used by God? If God told you to leave that relationship right now, could you do it cold turkey? Don't go have no conversation with them about it. Just pack your things and go. Could you step out on faith and leave? I done told some of y'all already to sacrifice y'all children to Him. And no, not to end their lives, but to just simply take your hand out of it. Stop worrying about it. Stop trying to fix it. Stop trying to be their savior and everything. You're scared to let them grow up, scared to let them learn on their own, scared to let them scrape their knee. It's hard for you to watch them make mistakes and give it to God. You wouldn't be God's go-to when it comes to being used, especially if you spend your life trying to be a director in a film He produced. Because a lot of us don't know how to play our role, and you completely die to self. And nobody's gonna be perfect, but there's a difference between making mistakes and things you purposely do for pleasure. So many of us out here still wilding out every weekend on our own choices of drugs to escape reality, lying, stealing, fornicating, committing adultery, idolizing everything but God. And it's not always because we want to, but there's a fine line between fighting temptation and freely submitting to it. I'm not saying He can't use us while we're in our mess. I'm just saying it's hard for Him to use you if the enemy is using you more. Are you ready to be used by God? Instead of going out helping your friends fight innocent people, can you correct them? Tell them that they're wrong? Not everybody can do that, because the temptation of proving your loyalty always feel better than convicting their spirit. Some of y'all be so quick to go fight a teacher from things your kids said. Whole time they was the problem, and you know it. Can you really be used by God? If God told you to go apologize to your ex, go apologize to that coworker, publicly admit you're wrong, even if you feel like you was right, would you be able to instantly remove that pride? Saturate yourself in humility, humble yourself in obedience. And I have to be honest, if anything I said triggered any type of resistance, you tell me in what way do you want to be used by God? It's obviously on your terms and in the way you want to be used and not His. But you be blessed.